Finally here, Fight Week has begun. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. At home, Wembley Stadium, 94,000 people will be there cheering on this enormous heavyweight contest. But today, like I said, it's the start of Fight Week, which means it's the open workout, and we're here in the shadow of Wembley Stadium at Box Park, Wembley. I'm here with Ben Davison, trainer of Royston Barney-Smith on the undercard. Firstly, Royston Barney-Smith, second fight at Wembley Stadium. He must be pretty excited.
Oh, what a show for him to make his second pro outing on. He was doing a media workout there. It was like a lot of cameras. But you know, he's a confident young lad. His pro debut massively impressed me with the attitude and composure that he showed. I'm sure we'll see more of that on Saturday.
And to be involved in a show like this, obviously we're at the open workout. You can see the media around here. It's an absolute frenzy, and we haven't seen something like this for quite a long time over here.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think, you know, this is a massive fight, and I think the fact that they've sold out Wembley Stadium says that, speaks volumes, and I've just got a sneaky feeling the fight's going to live up to expectations as well.
Yeah, just a bit. I think the entrances alone are going to live up to expectations. We've obviously got Tommy Fury in the ring now, and I think Tyson comes down in about 10 or 15 minutes. But talk about Tommy, how big an opportunity is this for him? Because he had that moment, we thought we were going to get that Jake Paul fight. That didn't happen, that didn't materialise, and now I think it's a chance for him to answer a lot of critics.
Yeah, look, Tom, I've always said this. I've spoke very highly of Tommy. I believe that Tommy's got a lot of potential. Nice lad, and John's always said it takes time to develop these fighters, and you know, it's a test for him on Saturday, and it's one that I'm sure he's thriving for and looking forward to showcase his skills, and it's a massive opportunity for him. I'm sure that he's prepared diligently, and I'm looking forward to see his performance as well.
Yeah. Against someone who's 10-1, so it's a step up in challenge as well.
It is, you know, it's very different when you come across someone that's not really coming to win, and sometimes fighters don't really show their best when they're fighting someone that doesn't come to win, and usually you see a completely different side to them when someone's coming to have a go, and they leave themselves open a little bit more, and leave a few more opportunities, and of course, you know, motivation itself for the preparation. When you know someone's coming to win, it gives you that different bit of hunger.
All right, moving on to Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte, of course, the big one. You're, of course, trainer for Tyson Fury throughout his comeback in the first 2 or 3 fights in that comeback. Some big shows there, but even with Vegas, even with LA, and those 2 fights in Vegas, it didn't quite match this kind of fanfare. Do you think it's a big thing for him being back at home?
Oh, it's a massive thing. I think it's a massive thing for the country. I think it's a massive thing for Tyson, the team, and for the history of the sport as well. This is a massive, massive occasion, and it's one that Tyson will want to capitalise on for sure.
From what you've seen of Tyson, how different is he going into a fight like this? Now he's had these sort of 3 or 4 super fights over in the States. How different is he going in, or is he the exact same person that you were in a camp with?
Yeah, I think he's the same person. I think Tyson's attitude changes when it's a completely different feeling being a heavy favourite, and he is a heavy favourite in this fight. Going into the last Deontay Wilder fight, he was a heavy favourite. Going into the fights before that, Klitschko, the first Wilder fight, and the second fight to a degree, he wasn't so much of a favourite, especially in the first Klitschko fight and the first Wilder fight. He was the underdog, massively the underdog. So it brings a different type of pressure, and it's a hurdle that he'll have to overcome.
Dillian Whyte doesn't really have boring fights. You always know there's going to be drama. And we haven't seen him in the build-up until a couple of days ago when he did some interviews with BT. We haven't seen any of it. Do you think there's anything to read into that, or do you think it's all just him trying to, well, let's have it straight, get the most money out of the deal he possibly can?
I've been saying to myself, and the people that ask me that question, do I think it's a strength or a weakness? Do you think it's worked for him or worked against him? And I keep saying the same thing. And I thought today was going to be the day.
Yeah,
I think
we're not
we'll find
expecting
out
him here today.
I think we'll find out when they're face to face. But you know, I'm looking forward to seeing them face to face, because then we'll find out whether it's been a strength or a weakness. Because when he stands in front of Tyson, the persona, or when Tyson starts talking, we'll see how Dillian handles it. but him himself is an experienced fighter as well. He knows Tyson, of course, as well. They've been in camps together. So I'm interested to see how these last few days before the fight play out.
He's never been quite as much of an underdog as this. There was obviously the Joshua fight, but you know that's almost a different career, isn't it? It was so long ago. He's a different fighter. He's a different man. He's not been in this position where he is, where he's being sort of positioned throughout this build-up in his whole career. When he goes out on Wembley, he's probably going to get very much like the B-side reaction. I don't think he's ever been really that much of a B-side before.
No, but some fighters, they thrive under that. So, like you said, Dillian's not been in that position yet, so we don't know how he'll react to it. But that could end up working in Dillian's favour.
We've had a brief glimpse of Tyson standing around up there somewhere. A lot of the talk going in is about the weight of the fighters. I think we've seen so little training footage and so little inside the camp of this fight compared to what we normally do. You normally at least see like little glimpses of what they might be looking at, what they might be working on in the training camps. How do you think the two of them are going to be looking on fight night?
I'm interested to see the weight of both guys that they come in at, because I think that might give us a little bit more insight into how they're both going to approach the fight. But at the same time, Tyson didn't come in overly light for the second Derek Chisora fight, and I thought that was a fantastic performance, and I would expect to see something similar to that for this fight. So it's not always a case that the weight will reflect how the fighters will fight. But it's certainly a topic to talk about, and be interesting to see what weight Dillian Whyte comes in at as well, with Tyson being a naturally bigger man.
If you were in Dillian Whyte's corner, how would you tell him to approach this fight?
Well, I don't want to give away things against Tyson, but look, I think Dillian will know, and it's important for him to return Tyson's jab, not let Tyson get into a flow with that jab, make himself unapproachable, and consistently jab at Tyson's chest, body, and not look and force clean work up top.
Yeah, we've seen obviously the Wilder fights, and he admits it himself. You can catch him. It's just a case of keeping him down. And I guess Dillian Whyte being called the body snatcher, we don't actually very often see people landing clean on Tyson's body and working his body. Do you think that's something that Whyte would have to try and look at to try and chop down the big man?
Yeah, I think he knows that. Look, Tyson's a massive unit. Small head, fantastic head movement, but the body, you can move the head, but the body's more difficult to move, especially if he's coming in heavy, to keep moving those feet to come away from the work to the body. That exerts energy, that takes energy. So I think it'll be important for Dillian to consistently be touching something, and the way that he's going to be able to do that is by hitting the chest and the body. And
we can only speculate, and we don't know what Tyson's thinking. And Tyson might not even know how he's going to feel, or he certainly don't know how he's going to feel at the end of this fight. But there's been little bits of talking about him saying this is his last fight. He might do the cross-promotional fight with Ngannou. He might go and do some WWE stuff. From how well you know Tyson, do you think there's any element of him that actually is thinking that this might be the last one, or do you think he'll just make his mind up after?
100% that he's crossing Tyson's mind. This potentially is the last fight of Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. Not to say that it 100% will be, but it certainly potentially, can be.
You've got to think there's a lot of money at play here, and also when he hears the 94,000 people, the fireworks, the entrance, which I'm sure is going to be insane. Do you think that might be enough to sway him?
I think depending on how the fight goes, on what options are available after. Usyk, Joshua. We got that fight there. We don't know how that might play out. And we don't know what is in the contract there. There may be a rematch clause in the Anthony Joshua Usyk fight. We're not sure. If it's waiting about an unclear situation, that might encourage Tyson to take a step away from the sport. But if there's a clear direction after the fight, then potentially, there may be a clear path for him to take to remain in the sport. But we'll have to see, but first of all, he's got Saturday night to take care of course.
Is this your first Tyson Fury fight, since you left the team?
What do you
mean? First one you've been present at, yeah.
Yeah.
God, it must be strange to be being at this, right?
Yeah, but I still speak to Tyson. I've just seen him up there. There's nothing.
I saw his team all make a beeline to come over and say hello to you as well.
There's nothing awkward. nothing awkward, but obviously watching the fight, I'm actually doing some commentary for TalkSport on the fight. Emotions would be running high because, of course, I always want to see him win.
Do you find that still a thing that you feel so invested in him still?
I'm actually, people say, oh, you're very calm in the corner, always very calm and composed. But as a fan, I'm the worst. I get sick, bad stomach. I'm the most nervous fan when I know someone. I want to see someone win. So it'll be difficult to sit and watch, of course, but I know he knows what he needs to do.
You've got a stable of about 98 fighters now. Is that just because you're so nervous as a fan? You just have to train them all?
No, obviously since parting ways with Tyson, working with Josh Taylor and a few other fighters, Lee Wood, of course, who's here. It was an opportunity for me to then start working with some prospects coming through, like Royston. And I took a few of them on that I believe, only the ones that I believe have potential to be a world champion. But of course there's a lot of hurdles to overcome to eventually get there, so I know that not all of them will make it. And a few will be let go along the way. But that's a goal of mine, and to be honest with you, that's what I get the most pleasure out of, is working with those guys at the beginning of their careers where they're so hungry to learn. And they're like sponges where they soak up their information, and that's really day to day, that's what brings my enjoyment in life.
Do you find with the younger fighters that you've also got to convince people that they're the real deal? So Royston Barney Smith, Frank absolutely loves him, doesn't he? So you didn't have to fight there, but I guess sometimes when you take these guys on, you've got to tell people like, look, this guy's the business, he's going to be great, give him a chance.
Yeah, but I wouldn't lie because you end up getting made to look like an idiot. So it's important that you're realistic with them. Royston's young, but he has the potential to be a superstar. The potential doesn't mean that he will be. There's a lot of work that needs to be put him through Queensbury Promotions, Frank Warren Promotions, through myself and through Royston himself. And everybody plays their part. He can become a superstar. But everybody's got to play their part. And there's a lot of hurdles to have to overcome for us to get there.
On the undercard, we've got Isaac Lowe and Nick Ball as well. I think probably one of the more 50-50 matches on the undercard. You, of course, work with Isaac. What do you expect to see from that fight?
It reminds me of a fight that Isaac had when Tyson boxed Tom Schwartz. He boxed a guy called Duan View, an unbeaten fighter, short, stocky guy, brought a lot of pressure, and Isaac boxed out of his skin that night. And I would expect to see a similar type of performance from Isaac against Nick Ball on Saturday. Nick Ball, what an opportunity for him, massive event, an opportunity for him to make a name for himself, and again, massive showcase for Isaac, massive opportunity for him to put himself back on that world stage.
All right then, Ben, it's been a pleasure to catch up again. I believe we have Tommy Fury coming over, but enjoy the rest of the fight weekend. I know you've got a trip up to Liverpool as well, so good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. All right then, we have a slightly less dressed Tommy Fury. How you doing, mate? All good?
Okay.
How was it? All good. The mic's there.
Yes.
How was that fight week? You there?
Amazing. Feeling good, feeling fit, weight's on point. I've been training since January for this, so I'm more than ready for it, more than ready to show everybody what I've been doing in the gym. And this fight in particular, I've got a great opponent, 10-1, he's coming to fight, whereas all the other guys I've ever fought in my career, they've not come to fight, and it's a harder job. But this time, you're going to see some good boxing out of me, some good power out of me, and it's going to be a great night.
Dominic Pachansky, 10-1, like you said, it's a different record, it's a massive step up for you. I think after the 8-month break, is that what you needed?
Yeah, definitely, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to learn anything, keep fighting these guys, whatever they want to be, MMA fighters, journeymen, whatever you want to call it, even though they're credible men, I want someone who's going to come and fight. And I know Daniel is going to come and fight because he's not a journeyman, he's 10-1, he's only had one defeat. So he's not going to want to taste that again, so he's going to come here, he's going to do the best that he can, but his best will not be good enough on Saturday night. So I'm raring to go, I don't care who's in the opposite corner. I'm here, I'm ready to fight, and you'll see it Saturday night.
When I last saw you at that press conference at Wembley, there were whisperings that you might be on this card. It was sort of 30% confirmed, but we thought it might be.
Yeah.
How relieved were you to get it over the line, to be involved in something as big as this?
Yeah, definitely, super relieved. At the end of the day, it doesn't get any bigger than this. No matter where you go in the world, 94,000, Wembley, sold out, Tyson on the card, it doesn't get any bigger, it's all there. I mean, Dev said it before, we touched on it, it's been a hard road, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And look at the light that I'm in now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Do you think that it's strange, because Tyson has obviously had this decorated career, he's won everything, he's fought great opponents, Klitschko in Germany, he's fought Wilder in these States. he's had all these shows made out of him, documentaries made out of him.
Yeah.
But this, the Wembley show, the 94,000, the huge stadium show where he's the main guy.
Yeah.
It's actually a new experience for him.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I mean, it's been a while since he's boxed at home, and it's been a while since he's boxed at home on a stage like this. And like I said before, it doesn't come any bigger, and that's when you're going to see the best Tyson, because Tyson lives for nights like Saturday night, 94,000, Wembley sold out, and the higher the occasion, the better Tyson is. So you're going to see the best Tyson Fury ever. I've been with him right the way through all camp. He's never looked as good in a camp. He's firing all cylinders, and he's just ready to go.
I know what the answer's going to be, Tommy.
Yeah.
But how's camp been?
The camp's been amazing.
Oh, was it the best one ever?
It was the best one
Thought
ever.
so.
Faultless. No, but genuinely, it really was. I dedicated myself. We all lived together in one house, Tyson's house, and we've ate, slept, drank, breathed boxing. And you're going to see the effects of that on Saturday night.
Has it been different for him having it at home? Because obviously he's had to go away before. He's had to take everything over to Vegas. He had those couple of training camps where the fights got cancelled and he was there and had to come back, lost all the money and the time doing those. Has it been a relief for him, do you think? He's just coming in now, but do you think it's been a relief for him being able to be at home?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at home, I think he feels more settled than in Las Vegas. And I just think everything's been right for Tyson this time around. Mentally, physically, emotionally, he's all there. Being at home, it's the best place for Tyson. And you're going to see, I know I keep saying it, but you're going to see it all on Saturday night.
Yeah. So Tyson's just about to walk in now. We've got a pretty full crowd here at the box park. I imagine this is where Fight Week really changes for him. This is the part where you see the fans, you see the fanfare, you see the atmosphere, you see that people are excited. When you've been locked away in that gym in Morecambe for 8, 12 weeks, whatever it's been, when you start to see the people, do you see a shift in him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you'll see it yourself. As soon as he comes out in his crowd, watch his eyes, you'll see the little twinkle, especially to this tune. And he's going to be a box of tricks in here. I mean, you never know what you're going to get with him, but that's why so many people turn out to see.
What do you think we're getting for the entrance on Saturday night?
I have no clue. Tyson might tell me one thing and do the next.
I promise you, Tommy Fury is barefaced lying. You know, don't you?
I have no clue.
Yeah, all right then, all right. Are you expecting Dillian Whyte to have changed his style, changed the kind of fighter he is for this fight? Because again, we've seen nothing of him in training camp whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, he can try and do whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be good enough. You know, he can't teach an old dog new tricks. Dillian Whyte's been around for a while, and what's he really going to do that's that different? You know, Dillian Whyte's. You know, easy victory for Tyson.
Yeah, we've got the footage here. Tyson Fury making what I'd say is a trademark entrance here. I think we might be about to see some 6'8" dance moves.
Yeah, I won't put it past him, definitely not.
Let's have a listen to the crowd. Otto Wall in there, of course, Tyson's opponent a couple of years ago, before the second Deontay Wilder fight. Went to a points decision after Tyson got that nasty cut as well. I think that was a bit of a turning point in his career out there, because it was the moment where he really came against hardship and people showed that he had the guts to get through.
Yeah, but again, time and time again, you see him in, you see him in a dogfight and he comes out on top. You know, a dogfight, he loves dogfights more than proper, like normal fights. He hates boxing, he loves to have a fight. But again, he can win under any circumstances. When it's not going his way, when he's cut, when he's behind, he can still pull out the bag. And that is a perfect trademark for champion.
And Otto Wallin, he obviously was meant to fight Whyte before this. Whyte pulled out of that with an injury. And obviously he's fought Tyson before. What do you want to go and see Otto Wallin go on to next?
Yeah, I mean, after Tyson's done with Whyte, I'd like to see Otto and Wallin, because I think that'd be a good fight. Styles make fights, and they both come forward type of fighters, so I think it'd be a good, entertaining fight.
All right then. Well, Tommy, thank you very much for joining us. While Tyson's getting his hand wrapped, I believe we're going to swap you out with a certain Joseph Parker. But best of luck. I'm sure I'll see you in Fight Week.
Make way for King Joe.
Thank you. How you doing? All good?
Yeah, good.
Good stuff. Right, so we'll just talk for a minute. We're not on now, so we'll just talk for a little bit. Oh, we are on. There we go. I'm with a dancing Joseph Parker. Loving the vibes. Do you know what? I've been in dressing rooms with this man on fight night. Everyone's meant to be looking tense and cagey. You're always throwing shapes. Are you the best dancer in Team Fury?
Am I the best dancer, Team Fury?
In Team Fury?
100%. The best dancer in the whole team.
No doubt.
Team Fury, Team Parker, the best dancer.
How excited are you for this obviously enormous event, 94,000 people? You had something similar in Cardiff, I guess, with Anthony Joshua, but this is a first-time Fury in front of an enormous home crowd of this size.
I think the excitement is going to keep building the closer we get to the fight. We left Morecambe yesterday to come here to London about 4 hours, but just the travelling here, the buzz.
Did you sense it?
Oh, listen, the buzz is starting to pick up. Travelling here today, the public workout, there's a press conference, the weigh-in, and the closer we get to the fight, the more excitement, the bigger the buzz, and everyone can't wait for it.
It's always interesting when fight week starts because, like you say, the level of buzz, the atmosphere, the mood around everything changes. Because this is the first time the British public have actually seen Tyson in a ring for 4 years. We've seen him, you know, in TV shows and events and speaking tours and things. But we've not seen him in a ring over here for 4 years. And now we've got the fight night as well. So it will change the public's mood as well as Tyson's.
Listen, his mood for this whole camp was put in the work, train hard. I've got a big challenge in front of me, and I'm going to take care of business. The mood now, though, since we've had the camp to fight week, he's excited. And then it makes, when he's excited and happy, the whole team that's with him is excited and happy. And the public have turned out to see him train and be in a ring to do a public workout, but it just shows how much support and love the people have for Tyson Fury here in the UK.
Being part of this camp, it's been a strange build-up because both Whyte's camp and Fury's camp have been very closed off. I think in sort of modern boxing media, you kind of expect to see, you know, the Floyd Mayweather style documentaries where you see everything throughout the whole build-up. We've seen so little of both fighters. Give us a little insight into that camp. I've been told by Tommy that reliable boxing answer here, it's been the best camp ever. But has it been something very positive, or has it been really, really hard work and difficult at times, but pushing through?
This camp, it's great for me to be a part of it. I went from my fight with Derek Chisora to going straight into camp with Tyson for the last 15 weeks. Of course, camp is always serious and there's a lot of work put in, but it's fun. There's never a dull day in the camp that we've just had. But Tyson's put in the work. He's in great shape. He's trimmed right down, and he's done the work with the strength work, conditioning, boxing, sparring, everything. So the way that he's going to approach his fight is just to go out there and have fun because he's put in the work.
Do you think it's given you an extra kind of boost in your own career, being involved in these last couple of camps? Like you said, your camp, you had Tyson there, you're now in his camp.
I think being a part of his camp, or just being here, you know, he's the one that linked myself and Andy Lee up. Then he's welcomed me into his camp, welcomed me into his home, very generous with his time, advice, knowledge, everything. So very blessed and fortunate to have someone like that in my corner.
So you being here, obviously you're used to these occasions being for your fights. You must come out here and you get a sense of the kind of vibe, the sort of palpable atmosphere that's in this room, and you must think, right, when's mine? When am I out?
Listen, like just being a part of it, when you're watching a fight, when you're watching sparring, or when you're watching a fight, you want to be in there yourself and fighting. But you know, I'm actually pretty happy not to be fighting and just to absorb it all as a spectator and as a support person. You know, because when you're in the fight, you can't really enjoy it. Like, it's a different type of enjoyment.
We spoke to Ben Davison earlier, and he said he gets more nervous about the fights where he's just a fan, where he's just supporting someone. Do you think that's the same for you? When you've got no control over what's happening in the ring, you feel more nervous?
I feel like when you have no control, you are more nervous. And of course, I'm a very close friend to Tyson, and I get nervous for him. But I couldn't imagine how, you know, his team feels, his dad, his brothers, and the other people that are close to him. But I do get nervous because, like you say, you have no control. You're not sure what's going to happen.
How is life being an honorary resident of Morecambe, by the way? There can't be many New Zealand nationals going to Morecambe, can there?
Morecambe has been very good to me. The people of Morecambe have been good to me. Tyson's been good to me. I've made friends in Morecambe. I got like my cafe that I go to. I got like a restaurant that I go to. Like, I got the apartment there that my good friend looks after me with the apartment as well. Had my family up here for 4 months. Like, I'm a citizen. I think I'm a citizen of this country.
Dillian Whyte, his training camp, again, we've not seen much of it, but it's been quiet in the build-up. Until this weekend, we haven't seen anything. We haven't had interviews, we haven't had training footage. We've had one interview in this whole build-up. Do you think that's been a deliberate choice?
I think it's just his deliberate choice of not wanting to be involved too much in the lead up to the fight. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's not good because the public are here to see two fighters, the two main events. No, they're here to see the undercard, but they're here to see Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury. I think he should have been more involved, but that's his decision. And hopefully he just shows up for the weigh-in and fight night.
Yeah. Do you think he'll feel, when it's all said and done, when it's all over, do you think he's going to feel as though he's missed out on getting the photos at Wembley and being involved in the build-up and doing the documentary? Do you think he's going to feel like he's missed out on something there?
I feel like he has missed out, and I feel he will have that feeling because there are supporters of him here, his here, and there's fans here that want to see him. But then again, I don't know.
If we just cut back to this camera quickly, we have the title that's on the line there. You touch it. You're the boxer.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to touch it.
Don't want to jinx it. Don't want to jinx it.
Mine.
As you can see here, we've got the Union belt. It's taking place on St George's Day. I think it's going to be a pretty insane atmosphere in there, given it's St George's Day. Two British heavyweights fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship and this new custom title, which I'm just going to put this down to.
What a belt! It's a nice belt, very nice belt.
So you're hoping that comes back to Morecambe and you can walk round to your favourite calf, just borrow it.
Nah, listen. I have, to be honest, I've only touched Tyson's belt once after he beat Wilder, but I want to hold it when it's mine.
Yeah.
I want to hold it if I can get a chance to fight for it again and win.
Is that a big thing for boxers in general? Are you like quite a superstitious bunch?
No, not really. I have touched the belt and I will touch it, but if it was mine, I'll grab it and hold it and put it on my shoulder. But.
So what kind of fight are you expecting on Saturday night? I don't think, I mentioned earlier, Dillian Whyte doesn't really have boring fights. Fury's been a great entertainer in his last few fights. The Wilder fights go down as heavyweight classics. What kind of fight do you think we're going to get?
Tyson's very entertaining in his fights. Dillian Whyte always comes ready, prepared, game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Dillian Whyte has planned or how he's going to approach the fight, whether it's going to be pressure, whether he's going to be on the back foot. But the great thing about Tyson and what I've seen is that he can adapt and adjust according to what's in front of him, and I think that's a very positive thing.
Please tell me that your dance moves are going to make some kind of cameo during the massive entrance. We nearly got one there.
My dance moves will probably make its debut on Tyson's entrance. No, I don't know.
This is what I'm expecting now. Joseph Parker riding down on a horse, throwing shapes. St George's Day popping off. There we go. We're body popping. All right. I believe Tyson's about to start his workout, so we'll cut back to the ring. And I think, Joseph, we may be replacing you.
Replacing me.
Frank Warren.
Yeah.
Oh, still, you've been great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You're right.
How we doing, Frank? All good?
Thinking cold, and I've got a sore throat.
It's all right. You look great. You look great in the mask.
Other than that, I'm marvellous.
It does you a lot of favours. It's a great look.
Yeah.
It would come now, wouldn't it? Typical it would come now.
Sod's law, isn't it? As I say.
So, Frank, cold aside, you must be so excited to be involved in something this big. Being outside Wembley now and seeing the first sort of sight of the public, this must give you that big fight buzz.
Well, it is. It's the biggest boxing gate ever in Europe, and it's the highest grossing event, not just boxing event, to ever take place at Wembley Stadium.
When that 94,000th ticket sold, were you leaning back in your chair thinking, job done?
Well, it's only partly done because obviously we bid $41 million for the fight plus the rest of the cost, and we've got to make sure that the pay-per-view works, which I believe it will do. It's a hot ticket, it's a hot fight, and I think we're going to see something special on the night.
What do you think to this fight, having been the build-up? We haven't seen much of either camp. It's all been very behind closed doors. That's maybe quite a rare thing in modern super fights. You see so little of either fighter.
Well,
are you thinking that they're both working on new plans for each other?
No, not at all. Listen, Tyson's been very good. He's done all that's asked of him. But you can't keep having a press conference with one person. And that's been the problem. Thankfully, we've resolved some stuff now with Dillian. I'm a bit disappointed I'm not here today. But anyway, he'll be there tomorrow. He has done a great interview with BT, which I thought was a sensation, and that's good for him. You know, the people who bought tickets, the people who are going to buy into the pay-per-view, they want to know who he is. They want to hear from him, hear about his journey. And it's a bit frustrating that it's taken so long for him to do something. But now he's doing quite a few things on social media. So hopefully tomorrow, when the two of them get together, we're going to see some more fireworks.
Well, it's not a fight week, Frank, if I don't see you separating two fighters. I never see you happier than when you're separating two fighters.
Well, I'm not too happy. I'm an old geezer now. I don't like being the meat in that sandwich, I promise you.
I know, I can see it in your eyes. So you separated two fighters and you think, oh, there we go, we've got them. That's the last couple of tickets sold.
Look, this fight, the public have bought into it. They bought into Tyson's homecoming. They bought into this fight. And it's going to be it will be a great fight. You know, you see Dillian. They see from the interview you guys done with him, he is in tip-top condition. You only got to look at Tyson, who says himself he's the best condition he's been in physically and mentally. And look at the great performances he's had in his 3 previous world title fights. So if he's in better form now, then you're going to see something extra special with him on the night.
Was there ever any doubt in your mind that this would sell how it has?
I didn't think it'd sell out in a day. I thought it'd be well received. But that, to be honest, that took me a little bit by surprise. But that tells you how he's touched a nerve with the British public, how they've got behind him. They've all been on that journey with him. They've seen his ups and downs. They've seen his successes in America. And they all want to share with him his comeback to the UK, which is, nearly 4 years out since he's been here. So that's what they've done. They've bought into it, and I think we're going to have a fantastic night. Emotional night. St George's Day. So
yeah, we've just been looking at the belt, the special belt as well.
They've made a special belt for it. So they've got a Lancashire Rose on it as well, hasn't it?
I'm sure Whyte's pleased with the Lancashire Rose, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, they've obviously looked at it as the Rose of England, but anyway, that's what it is.
What do you think? What Dillian Whyte do you think we're going to see on fight night? Because he's going to have to bring something different than he's ever brought out of himself to fight Tyson Fury.
He is going to have to do that. He's going to have to be tip-top. He's fighting the best heavyweight of his generation, lineal champion. He's going to have to do something special. But he believes he can. He's a very confident guy. You know, as much as with the sort of the previous non-cooperation we had was a pain. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and the nitty-gritty is when he gets in the ring. You know, he's got a big heart. You know, he can punch, and you know he comes to fight, and he's not going to be shy coming forward. So with him and Tyson can adapt. He can box on the back foot, on the front foot. He can do what he likes. But I think I see Tyson using his physical attributes, his jab, his movement. But I believe there's going to become a moment in the fight where they're going to go toe to toe, and that's where I think the fight will be won.
It's very much one of those situations where people say stars makes fights. That old cliche, stars makes fights. And this is it, isn't it? It's the technical boxer against the powerhouse, the slugger. He calls himself the body snatcher. Do you think it's going to be one of those fights where, like you mentioned, there's going to be brawling at some points, or someone who's going to have to try and make it a boxing match?
Look, Tyson's not a slugger. Tyson's a boxer, first and foremost. He's got a great boxing brain. And as I say, he'll use his physical attributes. It'd be a fool not to. But there comes a time in a fight where you have to get in the trenches, and that's what will happen.
And in the build-up, Tyson's been talking about this maybe being his last one. Now we know that Tyson, there's a good chance he changes his mind on quite a lot of things. And when he hears 94,000 people, I'm in time with Thomas Stripe. When he's in front of all those people, do you think there's a part of him that would think, I want to do this a few more times? Or do you think he really does have his mind set on making this one big last show?
I've not even had a conversation about it. We'll see what happens after the fight. But whatever he wants to do, I'll support him 100%. If he retires, that's his choice. He's the guy getting in the ring. He's the guy who's putting his life on the line, who's taking the punches. If he wants to do that, then we'll all agree, and that's the way it goes. If he wants to carry on, I'll be wholeheartedly behind him. What I would never let happen is I didn't feel he could carry on. I would do my best to stop him.
All right then, Frank. Well, We'll
Cheers,
leave it
Rob.
to it for now. Have a wonderful
Stop there,
fight
Rob.
week. I'm sure we'll see you a few times. And I look forward to you grinning in between the two fighters as you hold them apart.
So do I. I'm going to throw you in the middle. Don't worry about that.
Thank you, Greg.
Cheers, Rob.
Appreciate it. We're live. That's just me posing towards the camera. I'm joined by Otto Wallin here, former opponent of Tyson Fury. You just got a little cameo in the ring there. That must have been a nice moment for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tyson, he's a nice guy. We had a good fight, and you know, outside of that, we don't have any bad blood or anything. He's a pretty cool guy and a cool character.
You actually gave Tyson one of his hardest fights with the cut that you opened up. It's one of the sort of images that people remember of him throughout his whole career. Did you realise at the time quite how good he was?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that Tyson from before. I mean, I'd watched him with Klitschko and everything, and I've been watching him for a long time. I knew what he was about, and I mean, he's a really good fighter. I feel like I am too, so can't forget that. But you know, Tyson, he's a good fighter. He's a smart fighter. He knows how to adapt well, and he did that in our fight. When he got cut, he changed his game plan around and he kept fighting, which was you know, somewhat impressive, I would say, because it was huge cuts. He had 2 cuts actually, and yeah.
And since then, for you, Travis Kaufman, Brazil, and Sokolowski, 3 big wins, but you nearly had the Dillian Whyte fight.
Yeah.
How much of you this week is waiting for him to turn up so you can give a piece of your mind?
You know, it was frustrating what happened. We had contract signed, everything, training almost done. In the morning, I was heading to the airport, and late, like right before that, I get a call saying, hey, the fight might be off, he has an injury. So it was very disappointing, but it was very clear that this was the fight he wanted. He didn't want to reschedule our fight. He didn't want to risk losing against me, because then he would lose out on this.
What do you want to go for next then? What after this fight happens, would you maybe want to pursue getting that Whyte fight over the line? Because it's clear you're very popular with the English crowd.
Yeah, no, I think I have a good platform here in the UK, especially after that Fury fight, and people knows about me, and you know, I really like the UK fans, and I can't wait to experience Wembley on Saturday. I've never been there, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I've heard good stories about it over the years, and yeah, I'm excited to experience it on my own, and hopefully next time I'll be here, I'll be the one fighting.
Did that fight change a lot of things for you? Because you very much, despite in defeat, you almost came out of it a winner. Did things change for you as a boxer in your career after fighting Tyson Fury?
I mean, definitely. I think that my life really changed. You know, my boxing stock just shot to the sky, and it's made my life better. And it shows. I mean, all my hard work that I put in over the years finally starting to pay off. And I was so happy when I got that fight, because I had been waiting for that, you know, since I was a kid. So it's a really good moment for me. But I have a lot more to do. I need to become a world champion. That's what I want to do, and I'm fighting for it. I feel like the way to get another shot for me is gonna be just to push myself through the rankings and to get up there to be ordered a shot, because there's not a lot of people that's calling out my name.
On to Tyson. He's obviously, you know him better than anyone, having been in the ring with him. You shared the ring with him for 12 rounds, which not many people have done. How good is he? Do you put him up there with the all-time greats of the sport?
That's really hard for me, because I haven't been around for that long, and you know, I try to watch Holyfield, Lewis, all those guys, you know, Mike Tyson, Ali, and everybody. But Tyson, you know, he's one of the best of this era for sure. All-time great is really hard for me to tell. But Tyson is a very good fighter, and he has the size. And you know, looking back in other eras, those guys were smaller, and so it's kind of hard to go against Fury just because of that size. But he's a really good fighter.
In the heavyweight division, what fights do you want to see him have? Because there's talk that this may be his last match. Are there fights that you would like to see him have before he retires?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I want a rematch. Yeah. One, and then you know, Usyk and Joshua winner. I think even if Joshua loses again, it can be a big fight with him and Joshua here in the UK. If Usyk wins, I would like to see Fury and Usyk. I think that's the biggest fights right now. And then I don't think he's gonna retire. I think he'll keep fighting.
Yeah. I mean, we see Tyson, we know how good he is as a boxer, but as you can hear there, he's playing to the crowd a little bit. What do you admire about him as an entertainer as well, as a ticket seller, as an attraction for TV and films and documentaries? What do you admire about him for that?
Yeah, no, I think he's doing a really good job. I think he's charismatic guy, and he knows how to get people behind him. He likes to talk a lot, but that only works if you're as good as him. I feel like if you have somebody that talks a lot of trash, but can't really back it up, then it kind of gets pathetic. And Fury, he has those skills, and he has shown over the years that he's a really good fighter, and that's why it works for him. Because, with some of the things he says, if he would come in and, get outboxed and lose a couple fights, it would be totally different when he says those things. But just because he's very good, he can't say that.
How do you think Dillian Whyte could beat Tyson Fury? How would he have to do it?
Well, he needs to make a fight out of it. He can't stay on the outside. There's no way he's going to win a boxing match against Fury. So he's got to be aggressive, work the body, and cut off the ring. And when Fury gets close to him, don't let him tie you up and lean on you. Start with the body and hit him with that left hook to the head. Maybe he can open up that cut that he had open in my fight. I think that would be his best way.
Yeah, do you think in a way, the Fury, since his comeback, you maybe provided a little bit of a blueprint for people how to fight him?
I think so. I mean, I gave him a really good fight. I feel like I'm the only guy that he's ever fought that could match his skills, really. And I think I did that because I'm a tricky southpaw. I'm a smart guy. I have pretty fast hands, fast feet. And I have a good team, so we had a really good game plan. And that all played part of it.
How do you see it going, Otto?
Well, I think it's going to be an entertaining fight, a good fight, but eventually I think Fury's going to take over. I think he's going to come out. I believe that he's going to come out boxing, trying to outbox Dillian. The way Dillian can win the fight is, like I said, make it a fight, have Fury stand toe-to-toe with him. Fury has done that with Wilder, but Wilder is very different from Whyte. So I believe Whyte is better on the inside, he's heavier than Wilder, and he's got good power also. So I can see Fury coming out boxing him and do it that way. Maybe later on put it on him a little bit more, try to get him out of there.
Did you think he'd beat Wilder the second time? Did you think he would do it?
Yeah, of course. And that's actually funny you say that, because a lot of people thought after our fight, oh shit, Fury's done now. But that wasn't the case. I mean, he was as good as ever. It's just me that was good. I was a lot better than what people thought or gave me credit for. But I don't blame them. They haven't seen me on that level before. I hadn't been on that level before, and I wasn't that big of a name, so that's probably why. But now, a lot of people realizing that I am a good fighter, and the people that are not convinced, I'll make sure I convince them too soon.
Well, what do you think Wilder will do next? That's a fight that I guess a lot of the guys in heavyweight division will want to look at.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know what Wilder's doing. I think he said something that he was going to go into the woods and do some mushrooms or something to figure out if he was going to keep fighting or not.
That's where you got to go, Otto. Go out there, have some ayahuasca, whatever it is, and challenge him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I can find some good stuff in New York.
Okay, Otto, we're going to watch some of Tyson in the ring here at the open workout, but thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're doing a workout, man.
We're here with Isaac Lowe, long-time friend of Tyson Fury, and you're also on the undercard tonight, a tricky fight against Nick Ball. While we're watching Tyson on the pad, talk to us about how you think your fight's going to go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fight of the night. I think the fans need to be in, get drunk, get the popcorn, and it's going to be a hell of a fight for them. We know what Nick Ball brings, we all know what I bring, so we're going to meet in the middle at some point, and we're going to let bombs go, so someone's got to go.
And for you personally, being involved in something this massive, this 94,000 sold out event at Wembley Stadium, the National Stadium, you must be very excited.
Yeah, of course. Listen, I'm experienced. I've boxed all over the world. I've boxed the MGM, T-Mobile Centre. You name it, I've been there. Do you know what I mean? But this is just a dream come true. Wembley Stadium, the football national stadium, 94,000 people, chief support. You name it. It can't get no bigger than that, can it? So I'm ready, shaping my life, and I'm ready to put a show on.
You've known Tyson throughout his entire career, and you've seen him at all these different events. Do you think there's a difference in him in this event? Brings something extra out of him, knowing that he's the home fighter in his home stadium, all these people.
Tyson's Tyson, I say it all the time. Everyone says, oh, watch it like this training camp, watch it like this, that training camp. Training camp's training camp for us. We train hard every camp, whoever it is, whoever we'll fight the journeyman or the #1 in the world. We train the exact same, we don't take no off guard. And he's had a brilliant camp, same as myself. We've enjoyed it, we're here, we're 4 days out, we're fit, we're healthy, we've got no injuries, and we're ready to give the fans value for money.
We can already see Tyson and Shug putting on a show here. Sugar Hill, Stewart, his trainer. Is this the part of fight week when he starts to see the fans, when he starts to see the people, when he gets the first opportunity to be the main man, the star of the show? Is this the part where he starts to change?
Switching on, yeah, of course. It's the same as I was saying myself. You think about it and all that, but when you get here, the fans get here, you see the fans, everyone's shouting, the atmosphere, the music, you start getting tingles down your spine, so this is what I'm made to do, this is the moment. So yeah, as you can see in the ring there, he's looking super sharp, he's looking good, and I think he's just going to be on fire Saturday night. He's going to be unbeatable.
It must be a strange thing for you being on these cards, because you have to concentrate so massively on your own fight.
Yeah.
But you have this enormous thing happening with one of your best friends in the world happening later on in the night.
Yeah, I get more nervous for when he's fighting than I do my own self. I think it's a natural thing, you're under control of your own self. But yeah, I do get nervous. It's like thinking about my own fight, but I'm trying to think about him at the same time. But sometimes you've got to be selfish. I've got to think about myself. I've got a dangerous opponent in front of me. I've got to get me win. Then I can enjoy it and sit back and watch the Gypsy King do his magic.
How long does it take for that adrenaline to wear off after your fights? I've seen you after some of your fights. You picked up little hand injuries here and there, things like that. You maybe had a cut, and you have to then just like adjust to the rest of the night and support Tyson.
It's quite hard. It's quite hard. People like you've been there. You've seen me breaking hands, cut eyebrows. You've seen me go to hospital, and people sometimes, or even when you've won, and like obviously you've come out, and people's coming over, only trying to be nice, say congratulations, give me a cuddle or whatever. Can I get a picture? And you feel like saying like, just leave me alone for a minute. Like,
you have to support Tyson for that as well.
And it's going to be hard this time for me because coming out the ring, it's like get a quick shower, whatever, and jump back out. Probably won't even have time. But as long as we both get the W, I'll enjoy the general rebuts.
All right. So Dillian Whyte, and you're going to have to, we're live here, so you're going to have to watch your language. I know you're probably going to want to use some choice language about Dillian Whyte, but what do you think about him not showing up today and throughout the build-up?
Listen, he's got his own issues. I'm not going to come here and rip him on live TV, you know what I mean? He's got his issues, but it's his own self what he's let down, his own family. As going back to the occasion, it's 94,000 people, Wembley football ground. It's the biggest heavyweight fight, you know what I mean? You don't get any bigger. For not to be here to enjoy it all and not see it all and do the build-up, in 10 years' time when he's sat on his sofa, he'll be thinking about just going to the arena. He won't think about doing all this, he won't do all this, he won't have no pictures to show the kids. So it's down to his own self, but he knows when he comes here, he's going to get into a row, and he can't face Tyson. He doesn't want to.
Let's have a listen to what Tyson's saying for the moment. Let's listen to Tyson.
Bringing his A game, he's going to fight the best.
Been on some beds, hasn't he?
I hope I'm going to fight the best of all night, and we're going to give the fans a real treat because you've got two top heavyweights in the world going to smash each other to bits for the entertainment of the paying customer. So enjoy, guys. Enjoy. It's going to be a lot of fireworks, a lot of bombs getting slinged, and I wonder who's going to get knocked out first. It ain't going to be me, I tell you that.
There we go, a surprising prediction from Tyson there. He thinks he's going to win.
I'm going to throw him out to you, let me get some.
Isaac, you should put your hand up. I would have had that.
I'm sick of seeing them. Seeing them every day.
All right, mate. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck. I'll see you in Fight Week. Thank you. All right, I believe we're being joined now. Here he is, Big D. David Adelaide. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, man. How are you?
You must be very excited.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a good opportunity and it's an honour to be on these sort of cards, especially so early on in my stage. So, I mean, it's early in my career, isn't it? So, yeah.
You've been involved in the preparation before as well. I think we have Tyson coming in now, actually. I'll talk to you in just a second, Dave. I'll talk to you in just a second, Dave. We have the main man. I'll talk to you in a second. Here he is.
Hey, Robert!
How are we doing?
How are we?
Good?
I like the belt, looking nice.
Yeah, didn't throw any t-shirts over here, Tyson. Thanks for that.
The red rose of Lancashire there, I can see. Lovely jubbly.
Have you got space for that in the trophy cabinet?
I'll make space for that one in the treasury.
So, Tyson, I've been talking to people about you in these build-ups. You've had these huge weeks before. You've had countless massive fights, but this is the first time on your home patch with 90,000 plus people in the football stadium. This is the one that people really wait for in a career, isn't it? How big does it feel?
It's absolutely epic. It doesn't get any bigger than this. 94,000 people in my hometown, well, not hometown, home country, the Capital Stadium. This is it, really. This is the pinnacle of boxing. It does not get any bigger than this. This is it.
And you've been shut away this training camp. Both training camps have been very private, secretive, not that much media. Has that felt strange because you're so used now to that Vegas experience of having the cameras everywhere the whole time, and now you've got these out?
I'm not sure if he was there or not, but I did about 10 hours of media at Wembley for the opening press conference.
I flew in
I said, get it all in now because I'm going on a media blackout until after the fight. And that's exactly what I've done until fight week, and we're here. Ready for action, ready to put on a good show.
When you get in there, and obviously this is the first time that the British public have actually seen you in a ring for 4 years, albeit just
a little
workout.
tiny ring.
Yeah, that's the one for the night, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Is this a part where it changes for you? Does your mindset change? Because it's not just about the fight for you. You've also got to be the Tyson Fury show. You've got to entertain. You've got 94,000 people that have paid all that money to see the show as well as the fight.
100%. We're here to put on a show. We're here to put on a great spectacle for the fans. We was in there, we wasn't playing around. We did 4 or 5 rounds properly. Because that's my workout for today. That's done now. So I can go home and relax and recover. Do a few more interviews and we're done, mate.
How was it on the train down and the journey down? As the closer you got to Wembley, did you start to get that big fight feeling?
We drove here. We didn't get the train down. My dad drove us down. And it was fantastic. We had a good bit of banter in the car. We got in late last night. It was great. I've had a great camp. I've had a great build-up, and the final moment of the chapter of the career, going down at Wembley Stadium, like in front of nearly 100,000 people. It's
when you
crazy.
saw the big arch on the way down, did you have a little moat where the little child Tyson inside of you was thinking,
it's going to be fantastic. Listen, I can't wait. It's what I've been building up for my whole career. I've had to go to America and conquer America and take over Las Vegas, and now I'm back. It's been a long fight journey, and I'm back at home to celebrate with all my fans the homecoming, and this is it. Don't miss it.
Looking forward to that face-to-face tomorrow? You must be.
It is what it is.
You must be.
I've seen plenty of boxers before. I've seen lots of Dillian Whyte before. So we'll see what tomorrow will bring. Hopefully it'll be a good press conference, and that's it. I'm sure he's got stuff he wants to say. That's it. I've always got a bit to say, as we all know. But that's it, really. Looking forward to the fight. Put on a good show. At this stage, it doesn't really matter what Dillian Whyte says or what I say. It's going to be a fight anyway. So that's it. We're both trained hard. We're both in good form, good spirits. So it's going to be a great night, I reckon.
Tyson's playing it cool there. I know he definitely has something planned for press conference.
I
can see it in your eyes.
You're looking at my sleeves.
They're long sleeves. They're big sleeves. It's a big t-shirt.
Yeah.
All right, Tyson. Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
All the best. Thank you.
Cheers. Right, let's get Dave Adelaide back. Where's he gone? He's run. Okay, well, that is all we've had, Tyson. We've seen the open workout. We've got the fans. All that's left to say is join us on BT Sport Box Office on Saturday night. The fights start from 6 p.m. For more information on how to buy it, you go to www.bt.com/sport box office. Fury versus Whyte, the heavyweight championship of the world. And this novelty belt. Look at that. That's going to be on the line as well. We'll see you on Saturday night.
Got a message for Dillian?
Yeah, you get knocked out, Vicky. The king is back.
I'm sick and tired of Tyson Fury, man. He's such a fraud.
Dillian Whyte. You're not on my level. Let's have it!
No one is scared of you. Bring the pain, man.
Only time to use power, I have dropped him on multiple occasions.
Untrue, Dillian Whyte couldn't drop his granny.
He just talks crap.
I'll put it on you in a boxing gym, you yourself. Is there anyone else?
One of the biggest fights in British boxing history.
I survived so much things in life.
Me and Dillian are going to put it on the line.
One fight can change everything, man.
You're getting knocked spark out.
Everyone write me up. I just keep showing up.
He's refusing to show up for today's Wembley press conference. I'll definitely win this stare down. Howard!
Number one, baby!
You've gone silent. Where are you, Brilliant?
Hello? He says he's the best. I want to fight the best.
I bring the hype.
I'm a problem. It's going to go up.
Wembley's a sellout and they've all come to see me. The Gypsy King!
No more talking.
Does it get any better than that?